The city of Thunder Bay will have a new mayor by the end of 2026. Good evening, I'm Ryan Bonazzo. Thank you for joining us. Mayor Ken Boshkoff confirmed today that he won't seek another term when the next municipal election is held just over a year from now.
Well, you got to know when to fold them. And I've served maybe 35 years all told in various offices and things. So I just kind of like to walk out under my own steam and make the field clear that to people who are considering mayor that I would not be competing against them. So I think that's only fair to people who might be considering.
Starting in 1979, Boshkoff was elected 7 terms as a city councilor. He became Thunder Bay's mayor for the first time in 1997 and spent 6 years in that role. He then switched to federal politics, serving 4 years as a Liberal MP. In 2022, Boshkoff made a political comeback and was elected back into the mayor's chair. At the time, he said he would only serve 1 term, and now, at age 76 and after several health setbacks, Boshkoff is sticking to that plan. Looking around the current council table, he thinks there are several people who would make a good mayor.
I think yes, there actually are more than a couple, and that's probably why the council has been working so well. Is that people have been getting along, but they've also been contributing. So we've got some good hard workers there, and people that would have not very much trouble endorsing.
The next municipal election is scheduled for October of 2026. Ontario Liberal leader Bonnie Crombie expressed concerns today about an alleged plan by the Ford government to slash the number of school boards in the province. Crombie made the comments during a stop here in Thunder Bay. Jessica Clement has the story.
While she was in Thunder Bay to speak about northern issues, Ontario Liberal leader Bonnie Crombie also commented on a rumored plan by the Ford government to collapse Ontario's school boards from 72 down to 4. The Elementary Teachers Federation released a statement addressing the rumor on Friday, stating the move could silence parents, erase local voices, and eliminate elected trustees. Crombie agrees.
I'd be very concerned about the local voice. Education is very local. It would mean consolidation of union contracts, etc. And at the end of the day, who will represent the parents and the needs of the children? We need that local voice and that local representation.
However, Thunder Bay Atikokan MPP Kevin Holland says it's just a rumor.
This is the first I'm hearing of it, so it appears to be rumors. I have no knowledge of that taking place, and probably any other questions related to this would be better directed to Minister Calandra at Education, but as far as I can say, it's rumors right now.
Crombie took the time to speak about Northwestern Ontario highways. She's calling on the provincial government to finish the Chappaqua extension and to continue the twinning of Highway 1117.
Every single day we see the closure of the highways, and there has been a long-standing commitment of this government to do the 2-in-1, the twinning of highways 11 and 17, and let's just get it done. Please allocate the funding so we can provide safety on our roads.
Crombie also commented on the Premier dumping a full bottle of Crown Royal earlier this week in protest of beverage company Diageo closing its only Ontario bottling plant.
He's a great showman. This is showmanship, but it's not action. He has done nothing to protect local jobs and protect those jobs. Has there been any incentives provided to those companies that are thinking about crossing the border? What measures has he taken? Of course, we've been off all summer long since June. We've only sat 7 weeks. Where is the protection to protect our workers and to protect the closure of companies?
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
A huge crane was set up beside Bishop Gallagher School today to lift a new pedestrian bridge into place for the kids and other walkers in the area. The new span will replace an old pedestrian bridge, reconnecting the 2 sections of Clate Street. It's one of 5 new pedestrian bridges being installed around the city at a total cost of $1.8 million. 3 of them were put in place last year, and the final 2 are being finished this month. City project engineer Mike Vogrig says the contractor built new concrete abutments on each side of the creek and then brought in the prefabbed bridge to be carefully lowered into place. He says this one should last for a long time.
These prefab bridges, we're hoping to get about 75 years out of them. That's the expected lifespan. We might have to go in there and do some rehabs in the meantime. It's a wooden deck, replace the deck and stuff like that, but the structure should be there much longer than me anyways. Yeah.
Who uses this bridge? I see a school right next door.
Yeah, so that's the big thing. So this connects a whole bunch of neighborhoods to the school right here. It allows kids to walk to school, and for recreational use too. There's another bridge just down the road we're doing between Hartfixon and Pringle. So that one's getting replaced as well at the same time as this one. So we're getting both. Those are both about the same vintage. They were both kind of like falling apart, and we're getting them both replaced right now at the same time.
10 years after the Truth and Reconciliation Commission called on educational institutions to help address the harms of residential schools, Lakehead University leaders say they're working to meet that challenge. They're starting off the school year with a flag-raising ceremony in honor of survivors.
My experiences that I had, they seem like yesterday. Tears still come to my eyes. For the people that were taken and didn't come home, and the people that did come home.
Bob Baxter was 6 when he was taken from his family in Martin Falls First Nation and spent the next decade in the residential school system. Baxter was one of several dignitaries invited to speak at the flag raising. He hopes the flag prompts conversations about what children like him survived.
I became a wage rack and quit school. That's when I quit, because I didn't have any career goals when I was going to school. My only career goal is to go home and be with my parents. So that's what I did.
Education is what got us into this mess, and education is what's going to get us out of it. And at Lakehead, we're really committed to that. We believe very deeply in the role that universities can and should play in advancing reconciliation.
Quoting the late Senator Murray Sinclair, LU President Gillian Sedal says the Truth and Reconciliation report really brought home the devastating impact of residential schools and the connection to education. She points out that Lakehead has been working to support Indigenous students and include Indigenous content for a long time. Their soon-to-be-launched new strategic plan includes several commitments to reconciliation. Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School marked the second day of student orientation with the DFC Experience. Students participated in workshops all morning ahead of tomorrow's Wake the Giant Music Festival. Justin Hardy has the story.
The DFC Experience marks day 2 of orientation for incoming students at Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School. The morning saw students participate in a number of workshops, from sports with the LU Thunderwolves to music with some of the performers at Wake the Giant.
We had Neon Dreams this morning, and they played a couple songs. They were actually pretty good. And yeah, right now I'm doing volleyball and basketball, and yeah, it's pretty fun this year.
Students also got the chance to include some traditional knowledge in the day's activities at a hoop dance workshop with hoop dancer Thielen Kiknoswe.
It's at the core of what we do as people, as Indigenous people. You know, we've always been gathering for generations and generations, and now we're able to do it at such a huge scale. You know, we're inviting youth from many different communities to share our culture and in good ways, and, you know, be able to learn from one another.
Orientation ends with Wake the Giant on Saturday with headliner Black Eyed Peas. Transition coordinator Matthew Tilbury is in awe of how much the festival has grown.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing. It's expanded to such a big orientation with the music festival capping it all off. We just want our students to feel welcomed and like it's their home away from home. So yeah, it's a great way to welcome them back for another school year.
The Wake the Giant Music Festival begins at noon on Saturday. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
For the third time this year, a traveling circus has arrived in Thunder Bay. In July, the city welcomed back Paranormal Cirque, followed by Cirque Italia in August, and now a brand new circus has come to town. The Europa Super Circus has set up their big tent on the CLE Fairgrounds, and the first show was last night. The circus was created by a husband and wife team who used to perform with those other circuses before they decided to branch out on their own. It features performers from France, Spain, Portugal, and Italy. Operations Manager Jeffrey Bearholt says the Europa circus gives the audience some unforgettable and thrilling performances.
So we start with a really good act, the show. It's called the Wheel of Death. So it's a really dangerous act that you cannot see everywhere. So we are lucky to have him. And we also have a freestyle motocross bike jumping inside the tent. They're gonna be amazed by the show because we are lucky to have all these performers here for my show. It's almost top of the best in Europe for performer. So nobody's going to be disappointed for sure.
The next show goes at 7:30 tonight. There are also 3 performances tomorrow and 2 more on Sunday afternoon. Well, at least those performances are inside. Fiona, we know that tomorrow is the big day at the marina for the Wake the Giant Music Festival. Do I even want to know what the forecast is going to be? It has been so cold the past couple of days.
It really has, and it's been gray and at times wet. This is not a good start to the weekend, but things have almost got to get better. How much worse could they get? And actually things are looking fairly good. Now, this is a system that has been moving through heavy rainfall affecting areas around Sault Ste. Marie the last few hours. But today you can see it's kind of weakening as it moves through, and we'll explain that more later on in the newscast. But that's actually not a bad thing to see. It's starting to break apart. Here in the city of Thunder Bay, we had a low of 4, a high of 11, so we warmed up 1 whole degree over yesterday. Hey, come on, that's progress. Mostly cloudy and a few very brief showers, but the winds were definitely increasing, starting out at about 16 kilometers per hour, gusting up to 48 at times this afternoon. Elsewhere in the region, kind of a mixed bag. They've had a lot of cloud and periods of light rain, currently overcast in Fort Frances. They started out at 5, warmed up to 10, so they're not doing much better than we were, but the winds are definitely picking up. As you head further north, Red Lake has had rain all day, and those gusty northwest winds have kept temperatures from really warming up much. They had a low of 5, and just in the last hour have inched up to a high of 8. So very little movement during the day as far as the temperatures are concerned. We've got 8 in Kenora and Sioux Lookout at this time, 6 in Pickle Lake and Armstrong, 7 in Greenstone, where the rain has kind of been off and on throughout the day, and those are the highs for the day. Little warmer, believe it or not, along the North Shore, 9 in Nipigon, 8 in Marathon, 9 in Wawa, and Sault Ste. Marie, where, as I said, they've been getting hit with periods of thunderstorms, heavy rain, and then mostly cloudy in between. At this moment, they've got a light rain shower at 11 with 60 winds in that portion of the lake. Here in the city of Thunder Bay, overnight lows are going to once again drop down to what we've been seeing the last couple of nights, maybe a degree warmer at 5. Mainly cloudy. There's a 60% chance of showers for this evening. Then overnight, it's just cloudy. It's just calming down, because this evening, along with that risk of rain, winds are going to be 30, gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour. But as the night progresses, it tapers off down to 10 from the west. And that sets the stage for not a bad Saturday, maybe not as nice as we've had in previous years for Wake the Giant and other things, but we are looking at just a slight risk of rain at this time. Okay. And looking at what the systems are doing and the patterns, it actually does bode well, but I'll explain that a little better later on in the news hour.
Okay, thanks, Fiona. And that crowd, no doubt, will be moving to the music, rocking out, and having a great time.
And you've got a great band playing. It
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter what the weather is like. Remember Woodstock.
Just like Woodstock.
Absolutely.
Yes, a nice timely reference for the kids.